Smart Ride's Glenn Weinzimer to be honored at SAVE's Champions of Equality Gala. The SAVE Champions of Equality Gala will be held this year on May 14, 2023 at the New World Center in Miami Beach. And they have just revealed this year's Champions of Equality Gala honoree. And we're all thrilled here at Happening Out Television Network. This year's honoree will be none other than the Smart Ride founder, Glenn Weinzimer. Glenn has resided in South Florida since 1984. In 2003, he founded the Smart Ride, a two-day bicycle ride raising awareness for HIV and AIDS services throughout Florida that gives back 100% of all of its proceeds. Glenn has been recognized as one of the community's 50 most influential leaders by South Florida Gay News and one of the 100 most influential HIV positive people by PLOS Magazine. For his advocacy work in the LGBTQ+ community, Glenn has also received accolades from the Advocate magazine, the South Beach AIDS Project, and the World AIDS Museum. SAVE is South Florida's longest-serving LGBTQ+ rights and advocacy organization. It was founded in 1993, and the organization's stated mission is to, quote, promote, protect, and defend equality for people in South Florida who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender, end quote. Tickets for the gala are available at championsofequality.com. What fabulous news this is. First off, let's talk broadly about Champions of Equality. There was a couple of years where it went on in a virtual environment because of the pandemic. Then they returned in a rotation where they've done it in the fall, a tougher time to do it than in the spring. So this is the first time, frankly, that I can remember since being in South Florida that it's returning back to its traditional time, which is in the spring. So that's great news for SAVE and their efforts to raise money, especially in terms of the combinations of efforts for the AIDS Walk donations, which go as the match from AHF through April 30th. So fabulous for SAVE. If you want to spend your money wisely in equality advocacy, this is an event you should support. Then there's Glenn. And Glenn has... Glenn's sitting there going, what's Al going to say? Al's going to say, wow, as executive director of Smart Ride, this is the year to recognize Glenn Weinzimer. Yeah. This is the 20th anniversary of the Smart Ride. They've raised, I haven't heard the final number, but it's somewhere in the neighborhood of around $15 million in its history. But this is the big year. 20th anniversary, they have a goal target to raise $2 million. Breathtaking, breathtaking. And what, in addition to that, the big picture of Smart Ride, we're going to be promoting Smart Ride as a sponsor with them all year long. But also, that's the big picture. But the smaller picture is Glenn owns Bona Restaurant on Wilton Drive. He does Give Back Mondays every Monday. He's done it since, electric lights and Edison invented them. He's an all-around champion and good guy in our community. He's absolutely just a tremendous representative for the LGBTQ community, and there could be no better representation in 23 of the 20th for Smart Ride and Glenn Weinzimer. Congratulations to him.
Super cool dude. I actually knew him first through the restaurant. Didn't know his history of doing all of these things in the community with the bike ride, etc. So I already thought he was great, and then you learn that he's doing all that. It's like, wow, there's some real depth there.
Yeah.
I mean, he
which is really surprising when you meet him to find out that there's some real depth there.
But he does. He walks the walk. He talks the talk. He rides the ride. He has been. I believe he found out he was HIV positive, like in or around 1993, which was a very tough time. It was a turning point when we started to get more meds into more people's bodies, but it was a dark time for that kind of diagnosis, but he lives, he thrives, he persevered then. A decade later, he starts up the Smart Ride, and now here we are 20 years later. So kudos. I'm proud to call him a friend. I've met him professionally first. I now know him personally, and I also think he could, in addition to this award, he could win a show on Food Network for those garlic knots.
You know, Faye told me one time, this is true, Faye Watt told me the only reason she likes Glenn Weinzimer is those garlic knots. That's the only reason she likes him.
Well, I'm going to have to get down there and taste his knot.
Yes.
That's with the K.
Can I watch that on a subscription service? Or, yeah.
You can
Well,
watch
we
it
went there
on
quickly,
It's
didn't we?
Happening.
Yes.
Love you, Glenn.
Only friends of Glenn Weinzimer can make these kind of jokes. Absolutely. Congratulations. And don't miss the Save Gala in May. Don't miss it.
So, did you enjoy the show? I know you did. So make sure to click subscribe so you won't miss any of the events, news, or interviews right here on the Faye What Show. Ring the bell at the bottom of the screen, right there, so you'll be alerted every time we're live. You can also click on the Happening Out Television Network logo so you can see all of the shows on the most diverse LGBTQ plus media network. Find out just what we're doing to bring the L and the G together right here on the Faye What Show. Get the week started with me.